I lived in a quiet suburban neighborhood where nothing out of the ordinary ever seemed to happen. That is, until the new neighbor moved in. It started with strange noises coming from his house at odd hours of the night. At first, I thought it was just construction or maybe some DIY project he was working on. But as the weeks went by, the noises got louder and more frequent. There were banging sounds, like something heavy being dragged across the floor, and muffled voices that sounded like they were arguing. One day, I decided to investigate. I walked over to his house and knocked on the door. After a few moments, the door slowly creaked open, and there he stood, a tall, pale man with sunken eyes. He looked at me with a blank expression and asked what I wanted. I stuttered out that I was just concerned about the noises. He just nodded and said it was nothing to worry about, then closed the door in my face. But things didn't stop there. A few days later, my dog went missing. I searched everywhere in the neighborhood, but there was no sign of him. Then, one evening, I saw a shadowy figure in my backyard. When I turned on the light, I saw the neighbor standing there, holding my dog in his arms. He just smiled and said he found him wandering around and wanted to return him. That wasn't the end of it, though. After that incident, I started noticing that things around my house were going missing. Small things at first, like a pair of scissors or a pen, but then it escalated to more valuable items. I confronted the neighbor again, but he denied any involvement. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I decided to spy on him. I climbed up a tree in my backyard and peeked into his window. What I saw made my blood run cold. There were rows of shelves filled with all the things that had gone missing from my house and from other houses in the neighborhood. And in the middle of the room, there was a large, dark machine that was humming loudly. I was about to call the police when I heard footsteps coming up behind me. I turned around, and there was the neighbor, holding a knife. He lunged at me, but I managed to dodge him and run back into my house. I called the police, and when they arrived, they found all the stolen items in his house and arrested him. It turned out he was some kind of crazy collector who had been stealing from everyone in the neighborhood for months.